Assalamu alaikum participants, and I would like to welcome our speaker, Professor Dato Dr. Ahmed Kameel. Sir, we have made you the co-host. Now you can access the screen and the speaker as well. So kindly let me know that if my voice is audible or not.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, your voice is audible. So,
Okay.
we are going to start our session. My name is Bisma Atiq, and I am a representative of AlHuda Center of Islamic Banking and Economics.
Uh-huh.
And let me introduce our speaker, that Professor Dato Dr. Ahmed Kameel Madin Mir obtained a magna cum laude PhD degree from the University of North Texas, Denton, Texas, USA in 1996. He graduated and master's degree were in economics and from the International Islamic University, Malaysia. His wide areas of interest and expertise include finance, Islamic banking, financial markets, investment analysis, macroeconomics, economics of social issues, and quantitative methods. He has extensive experience in teaching, training, consulting, and research in the above areas. His work has been published in reputed local and international journals. He is known for his writing on the concept of money and payment system, particularly the importance of gold backing of currencies. Currently, Professor Dr. Ahmed Kamil Mir is the Vice President of Waqaf International, which is dedicated to the promotion of a Waqaf economy model, which is a unique way of utilizing Waqaf to empower business and individuals in the economy. Now, I would like to hand over the session to our respected speaker so that he can continue with his presentation. I hope this session will be very insightful for you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Bisma Atik, for the kind, generous introduction. The topic given to me today is Waqaf as a financial institution towards social economic empowerment. Before that, let me also thank for inviting me and to everyone who's here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me share my slides here. Yes, will you allow me to this thing?
Yes, sir,
Share.
you are already the co-host so that you can share your screen
Okay.
with us.
All right. All right. This is the.
Yes, sir, that's visible.
All right. So this, okay, you can see the slides, yeah. Okay,
Yes,
as when I was in the university, I was doing a lot of work on monetary issues. That's why, if you notice, I've been doing a lot of work on gold and the importance of gold in Islamic finance. That's another thing. But finally, looking at these Waqaf models, researching into Waqaf, I find that together with this monetary thing, the Waqaf gives you a path towards achieving that pristine Islamic economics and finance model or system that we all aspire for. This can give you the path. So that's why I joined this Waqafa International Consultancy business to develop this concept. It's actually working. It's not a theory. This model that I would like to share with you is being practiced in Malaysia, particularly in Indonesia, Philippines, and Thailand. Okay. So the objective is to achieve a pristine Islamic economic system. What in the Quran we says, "Baldatun tayyibatun wa rabbun ghafur." So you see, the model we follow is called productive Waqaf, as compared to traditional Waqaf. Traditional Waqaf, then generally, people in their old age, they give land or building something which people convert into masjids or some tafis or school and things like that. Yeah. So it used to be a traditional Waqaf mostly like this, but now to economics, I think Waqaf has to be productive. This is what I would like to share with you, and how Waqaf can be a financial institution in an Islamic economics model. So the models we've been working on is called Waqaf economy, towards achieving sustained abundance. That means the prosperity must be sustainable, sustained abundance with peace and security for every individual, whether it is poor, this thing, or Muslim, non-Muslim. Everybody is included in this model. It's not only for Muslims. And BankWaqf, which is the central to the Waqaf economy will play the central role in the financial institution towards the attainment of the pristine Islamic economics and financial system. Just like the banking system in the conventional model plays a central role, by creating the liquidity needed to facilitate trade in the economy. So BankWaqf is what the institution that will play their role in the Waqaf economy. So we have something called BankWaqf International, kind of being established as a foundation in Indonesia. That it starts from there. Huh? In our model, compared to traditional Waqaf, we believe Waqaf and investment got to go hand in hand. Only then the Waqaf can become sustainable. So we need to have the Waqaf funds to be invested in productive enterprises. So we call it productive Waqaf, in order to make the Waqaf contributions sustainable. Otherwise, in the traditional Waqaf, if you can see, if you're running a school or something, people give Waqaf, you do something, then you have to go back and ask money again and again, just to keep it running. But here, the Waqaf is made to continuously provide the needed funds. Now, why do we structure the entire thing using Waqaf? Why the economy is structured using Waqaf economy? Because we derive from the Quran and the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guarantees that if you spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the wealth will come back to you, minimum multiplied 700 times. Surah Al-Baqarah, I'm sure you're all aware of this ayah. So the 700 times minimum, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He can multiply to whatever amount He wills, actually, as mentioned. That's number one. So any business that gives sadaqah waqaf by structure, then you will enjoy this. Then number two, number two, giving to charity is a form of gratitude, showing gratitude to God. So there's Surah Ibrahim, you find these verses, and remember when your sustainer made this promise known, if you are grateful to me, I shall most certainly give you more and more. So sadaqah, as you can see, the waqaf in the model is a form of showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, then the number three, something that we are all quite familiar with, that anything that we give waqaf, ongoing charity, will continuously give reward even when after the person has passed away. So that means not only the reward is given to you while you are living on earth, but also after you pass away, the ajr will continue to come in the future. So that is the reason why the economy is now structured in waqaf concept, and then to achieve that pristine economic system. Unlike zakat, the waqaf can be contributed by non-Muslims, and non-Muslims can also enjoy benefits from the waqaf. Yeah. So that is the reason. So again, waqaf is sadaqah jariyah, as I mentioned to you. It continues sadaqah that brings continuous reward. It says tijaratan lan tabur. That means this is a business that will not end in losses. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, how the structure works is like this. We have a BankWaqf. For example, the one in Indonesia, BankWaqf International. It has affiliated businesses that are running that will contribute 10% of their net profits to the BankWaqf. So Muslims, by nature, they would like to contribute. If you convince them, they're willing to give. Yeah. So these are all businesses, existing ones. It's not hypothetical. Huh? We have gold business. We have a hospital. We have a nursing school in Thailand. This is building homes, affordable homes in Indonesia, retail business, poultry farming, a chocolate factory in Philippines, hydroponics in Indonesia, sawmill in Indonesia, cattle farming in Malaysia, and so on. So all these businesses, they give 10% of their profits, we channel to BankWaqf. And many of these businesses, they close their accounts monthly basis. There are reasons why we do that monthly instead of annually, yeah? So that you can actually monitor what's happening to the business, and every month cash can be received. So therefore, this is a social capital injection. It's a real, from the real businesses, the profit, it is contributed. It's very different. Later I'll compare with the current banking systems. Yeah. So it's the social capital injection to create this BankWaqf. Now this BankWaqf manages 4 kinds of funds. One is investment fund. Investment. That means it can receive funds from people, organizations, and so forth, and the money can be used for investing in businesses. And whenever it invests in business, the profit, 10% of the profit must go back to BankWaqf. 10%. See, it will do. It's structured like that. And when we have 10% is received as Waqaf, when that money is invested again, we call it reinvestment. The 10% we receive here, when it's reinvested, so it is the BankWaqf will receive 70% of the net profit. I will show you why. Here it is to receive 10%. Here it is 70%. Okay, and also it will manage a reserve fund, and all this I will explain in a moment. And also cash Waqaf, and also we are actually our model is also embedded with gold. Therefore, sometimes people also contribute gold as Waqaf. So basically, what happens is that when a business contributes the fund net profit as Waqaf, then it's no longer belongs to anybody already. It belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It belongs to the Ummah. So BankWaqf is a trust fund because of that, established to play the central role in the Waqaf economy. It provides financial services to the people in the name of Allah, and Waqaf funds are invested in productive way. And the beneficiaries, the Mawquf alay, ultimately will become the beneficiaries of the funds. Okay, so it is the important word here is a trust fund. It does not belong to anybody, but it's a trust fund. Now, just to show you how the bank would manage the funds, when the investment fund is given, then there is a niyyah of the person who's investing that 10% of it will go to Waqaf, 10%. So it is invested in business. Then when the business makes profit, of course, losses is losses, okay? But when it makes profit, 60% of the profit goes to the investor. 30% goes to the entrepreneur who runs the business. 10% to the Waqaf, as I mentioned earlier. So the 10%, there's a formula of managing it. From the 10%, 40% will be reinvested. So it will go back to the BankWaqf, and the BankWaqf will become the investor. So that is the reason why I mentioned when this money is reinvested, the BankWaqf will get the 70%, which is the 10% here and the 60% here together. All right? And 30% goes to the Mawquf alay or the beneficiaries. So we currently target 4 categories of beneficiaries. I will come to that. And also 10% to microfinance will be given. Now 10% to microfinance, we intend to follow the AlHuda model in Pakistan, because it's a proven model. It has all its SOPs. And 10% will be following there's a reserve fund. We'll also explain this. And another 10% off is for operations. That means for the management of the funds. That means you can employ people and so forth. So this is the model that BankWaqf will use for managing the Waqaf fund. Okay. So you can see here, this is one example of a Waqaf embedded investment in wood business in Indonesia, in Java Island. It's a sawmill where you buy logs, timber from the market, and then where we cut them into wood, what do you call that, for construction purposes. So this is the total profit monthly declared, and then the operators are given the 30% their return. The Waqaf gets 10%, and the investors get 60%. And part of the Waqaf fund is reinvested. This is the reinvestment, you see. Now, you see, from running this, from the Waqaf for the last 3 years, this business alone was able to actually build a mosque and also to run a school. So imagine 100 businesses cooperate like this. You see? So the BankWaqf is actually the power of pooled funds. When you pool funds, you will do wonders. I'll come to that in a moment. Okay. This is again the reinvestment. Remember, when this money is reinvested, the Waqaf bank become the investor. So therefore, the Waqaf bank will get 70% of the returns and 30% to the entrepreneur. It's just to show you how the funds are in it. Now, as I mentioned to you that in our model, a Waqaf and investment go hand in hand so that the Waqaf becomes sustainable. So when the businesses, this is I divide into two quadrant compartment here. One is for investments, and the other side is for the Mawquf Alay, that who consume the funds. Okay, so here the businesses and all through investment and so forth, the bank will get either 10% or 70% of net profit, and that will be used for Mawquf Alay, part of it, as you saw. The 30% of the beneficiaries goes for the Mawquf Alay. Here, the Mawquf Alay actually is human capital development. That is the initial target, the objective of the use of funds. So we use it for food security. That means make sure everyone has good food to eat, health, education, and shelter. So these are the things that people need for human capital development. So you see the philosophy of BankWaqf is that, or Waqaf economy model is that every human being is an asset to each other. Rich, poor, from whatever caste or whatever social standings, even Muslims and non-Muslims. We are all assets to each other. Okay, so which means we can use the Waqaf fund to develop the entire. But the prerequisite for you to become an asset is that you got to have education, and you must be healthy. Without education, you cannot contribute to society. Or without health, you also cannot contribute to society. So education and health is paramount in it. And we, as the society or a country, must be able to provide that to everybody. In fact, ultimate model, it has to be free actually. But now we just try to make it as cheap as possible, affordable. But when inshallah the BankWaqf grows, we'll make it all this free for everybody. Why? We don't consider this as actually welfare. It's not welfare. It is actually the responsibility of the society to create an asset out of everyone. So once you create an asset from everyone, the benefit will come back to you. See? So by creating, the rich people, the poor people all become contributors to the society. So ultimately you develop the human capital to become contributors into the future. So when they do business in the future, they will contribute in order to assist those who are unfortunate, so that they can also become contributors. So this is the philosophy of BankWaqf. What are the sources of funds for BankWaqf? We have actually 7 sources in it. One is businesses like I showed just now, all contributing businesses, palm oil, all palm plantations, rubber plantations, hotels, marts, and so forth. They will contribute 10%. Then we have MASJID funds. This one I will come to you in a moment. Every Friday, a lot of masjids collect a lot of money from the people who go for the Friday prayers and this thing. In fact, they collect on a daily basis. And these funds are all separately kept. Imagine all these masjid funds are pooled into one fund. It will become a powerful fund. It's a pooled funds. It's a powerful. Of course, we are not saying we are not taking away the funds from the masjid. The masjids will have an account with us. Anytime they want to withdraw money, you can. But we are encouraging 10% of the funds to be invested at least in projects, so that you can get returns to the funds. And then the pooled funds can also be used for many other purposes. You can go into large projects when you do like that, when compared to your separate. Like in Malaysia, we have Tabung Haji, Tabung Haji, it actually pools the savings of people for Hajj. They want to perform Hajj, they will save, sometimes some of them save for years, 10 years, 20 years, they save. So the fund is not withdrawn. So when you pool everybody's fund like that, it becomes a powerful institution. That's why Tabung Haji can invest in so many businesses, plantations, and things like that. Yeah. So the same concept is applied here to strengthen the BankWaqf. Yeah. And we can also get from corporate social responsibility, CSR funds that they give. That means when the BankWaqf invests, it will get 70% of the return. And businesses invested in by BankWaqf using the investment fund, which I showed just now, or using the Waqaf fund, the 70%. And the last one is the Sunduk Waqaf. The Sunduk is basically is a fund also. It is a fund where people give cash Waqaf, where people give gold as Waqaf. They just simply give it to the bank. They're not investing. Some NGOs, they'll give funds. So these funds 100% belongs to the Waqaf, and they can be invested and get 70% of the returns. So these are the 7 sources for BankWaqaf to get funds, and it will invest the funds, and it will give to the Mawquf Alai. Like now, Tafi schools, you can run preschools, hospitals, clinics, dialysis centers, and give to the poor and needy in terms of food aid and so on. Yeah. This is the one I was talking to you, established of the Tabung Masjid, where the Masjid funds are pooled, and all Masjids keep accounts at BankWaqaf, can withdraw funds whenever necessary according to the SOP, and part of the funds can be invested with BankWaqaf for profit sharing. Okay. Now the reserve fund is important, as I mentioned to you, which is the reserve fund, 10%. Sorry, it is actually out of it, 40% is put in land and properties. So you see, a lot of Muslim land is actually lost due to faraid divisions, family disputes, and so on. They are, they are actually businesses are broken and sold off. So this BankWaqaf can buy back all such lands. Collect land as one of the assets and properties. So this can be rent out, or you can do farming and so forth. Yeah, so that's 40%. 20% we keep in gold because gold is a very powerful asset for reserve. That's the reason why even central banks, almost every central bank in the world will keep gold reserve. Yeah, and cash and shares. So gold, cash, and shares are quite liquid, which is about 60%, and 40% is a little bit not that liquid, but it brings rental income. So anything if happens to the businesses, for example, losses or something happen, a calamity, so the reserve fund will come in as a contingency fund. We can rely upon it. So it prevents you from borrowing funds, during bad times, So that is the reason when any country that has good reserves, take Singapore for example, when you have good reserves, then your economy will be good. You don't have to borrow funds, internationally and so forth, and your currency also will be strong. So we use the same concept, and we also derive this concept from the story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, where during the good time he saves the grain, and during the 7 years of the drought, we use it. So the same principle is applied here. Okay, as I mentioned to you, the reserve fund is important. Now, these are the 4 areas of beneficiaries that we cover right now. We give for food security. Mostly we are investing in farms, to increase the food security of the country and also the food security of the people. Excuse me. Yeah. So we have a project called Waqaf Korban we have launched recently. I will explain in a moment. And also we have, health. We have a hospital that is being run, especially a women and a child hospital, run by one doctor by the name of Dr. Zakur. He's a pediatrician. So we also finance in order to make, healthcare affordable to those people. Education, we have Tafi schools and also, schools being established here in Indonesia, and also properties. We have Waqaf lodging. Basically, we are building one now, starting one near a hospital to assist people who come to visit their relatives who are in hospital, to reduce the cost of staying, lodging. So we try to give them cheaper than hotels, cheaper than homestays and so forth. Okay. Now the operations. What do we do with the money for operations? Of course, we pay from payment for the Nazir, for the management, the premises, office staff, and so on. and to also to employ professional fund managers. This is very lacking. See, nowadays the Nazir is given to sometimes the religious scholars. Okay, fine, but the religious scholars must have the skill, you know. Like in Singapore, it is run professionally by real professional fund managers. You know, Waris, which comes under the religious authority of Singapore. They invest professionally, and with the money, they renovate all masjids and they renovate Waqaf buildings so that they become, they can earn the rightful returns on the properties. Otherwise, if you look at traditional Waqaf properties, they just lie idle and then all, rotten and rotting, isn't it? But when you put productive Waqaf inside, then you see the buildings become beautiful. Then people can rent them at the market price, with the profit, they renovate masjids and so forth. And the last one is the entire Waqaf model is digitized. You need to digitize. So we are now digitizing in the current process actually. So it is not ready yet, but it's in progress. So that let's say you invest in any of our business, you can actually see the current status of the project. You can see how much invested, how much Mawquf alais are getting. So there will be a dashboard. So you can monitor your investments. Even if you invest in Indonesia or Philippines, you would be able to monitor your investments from India. So we are developing such all right. So basically, this model, it actually strengthens the investors and entrepreneurs in the model. Excuse me. So you see, for example, let's say these are all the businesses contributing to the BankWaqf. And here's a poultry farmer. Poultry, those who keep chicken. Like in Malaysia, a very small percentage of chicken is actually produced by Muslims themselves. Very small percentage. So when we see, look, we need to empower the poultry farmers. We need to increase the production of chicken by Muslims themselves. So the BankWaqf can actually finance this project. You see, so it will strengthen. We have funds to strengthen each other. So the BankWaqf, you see, like this one, this is midday. The BankWaqf organizes periodically a midday between investors and entrepreneurs. So this is a midday in Indonesia. So this person is pitching for funding for a farming project. Yeah. So in the meeting, BankWaqf representatives will be there, potential investors will be there, and then and also those who are pitching for funding will be there. So if it is good project, then the investors can finance, give the money to BankWaqf, and BankWaqf also can finance using its own funds. And investors who give funds to BankWaqf, they have to agree 10% of the net profit will also go to BankWaqf. So in this way, we grow the fund. So, sister, how much time do I have? Hello?
Sir, you have 25 more minutes.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, I will. I just want to know how much. Okay, good. So finally, as you can see, brothers and sisters, as you can see, the BankWaqf is a global trust fund. Then it belongs to nobody but the Ummah, and is from Ummah for the benefit of the empowerment of the Ummah. Okay, so therefore, it is managed by a foundation. It's managed by a foundation. So therefore, the trustees will be there, and transparency and governance structure will be in place. It's very important. Okay, now it is, as you can see, the BankWaqf is an investment and funding house actually established by the Muslim business community, but it belongs to the Ummah. So it's like managing a mini treasury of Allah on earth. It's like you are managing the treasury of Allah. It's a mini one. But it comes with a big responsibility, big accountability, especially when businesses are contributing once their net profits to you. So it has become a responsibility. So we see the critical success factors for BankWaqf are at least these three. One is you have to, there must be transparency and good governance. So how the trustees are chosen, how the management team is chosen, and these are important. The standard operating procedures must be put in place. So digitalization, auditing, all this improve transparency and good governance. So we intend to follow IOF's Waqaf governance structure, for this purpose. Okay, and then we employ professional fund managers. Yeah, professional fund managers for the to manage the funds. That's important for the success factors. The third is the risk management. Because you are investing using mudaraba basis or musharaka basis, so there is a risk factor there. Business risk is there, so you need to manage it properly. So that's why you need to have proper fund managers. And also, there's also character risk. So character risk is sometimes we have had experiences where you give the funding to some people. After 1 month, they say the money is all lost. So there are some people like that. When you look at the business plan, oh, it's very good, but you invest within 1 month, the money is gone. So we need to know how to minimize this kind of risk. Okay, so there are methods, but maybe some other time I will discuss that with you. Okay. Okay, I don't know why how this red line came about, but anyway, so the IT and digitization for BankWaqf, we are looking into smart contracts, online investments and investment tracking for the investors, monthly investment, the beneficiary and reserves report, daily sales report for certain businesses. We will give daily sales report, especially for marts. We have a Tafiz mart where you can get a daily sales report. Like hydroponics also, you can have a daily sales report. So inventory management, online sales and payment systems, risk management, and selling of shares. You invest, you want to sell to others. So we are looking into all this digitization. And as I mentioned earlier, digitization also helps in the transparency and governance of the whole structure. Now, if you compare conventional bank, the current Islamic banks and Waqaf bank, what is the difference? When you look at ownership, conventional bank, the individual shareholders own it. Islamic banks also, they have shareholders owning it mostly, yeah, especially but this bank is Ummah, belongs to the Ummah. So when you look at conventional banks and even sometimes Islamic banks, they say, okay, when you have dispute or whatever, they say, no, look, we have to act in the best interest of our shareholders, our stakeholders, they call it, right? But here, in this Waqaf bank, the stakeholder is the Ummah. The owners are the Ummah. Does it accept deposits in our ini? Yes, conventional banks, Islamic banks, they accept deposits. We don't accept deposits, but investment in the form of especially partnership, mostly mudaraba and musharaka, partnership transactions. So we don't accept deposits. Investment, all three, yes. Predominant financing is debt-based. Islamic banks also debt-based. The most dominant financing is murabaha financing, isn't it? So it's still actually debt-based. But here is profit and loss sharing. It actually goes into risk-sharing principles. Okay. Does it create money through fractional reserve banking? Conventional banks, Islamic bank, yes, because they are part of the fractional reserve banking. But this bank, Waqaf bank, doesn't create money. So because it doesn't create money, it doesn't contribute to inflation in the system. Whereas conventional banks and present Islamic banks, they actually contribute to inflation because the banking systems, they create money through the fractional reserve banking system. Okay, so do they empower society? A lot of research have been shown. It depends how you see whether it empowers society. Some people who take financing from them, they do become successful business, they do. But many actually, they fail, okay? But Waqaf model is designed to empower society. It's designed to empower society, okay? It targets actually, I'll come in a moment. It targets passive income, which means at least a second income for everybody in the economy. We target as passive income. In some models, they call it universal basic income, UBI, something like that. So we target for everybody in order to empower everyone in the society. So it does contribute to the equitable distribution of wealth because of all this. Does it embrace or embody the real money concepts? No, because these banking systems are based in fiat money. This is also fiat money. Currently, we also operate in fiat money, but it embraces real money concept. through gold-backed investments. We design our investments using gold-backed. I'll explain in a moment. So therefore, BankWaqf, it promotes and practices mudaraba and musharaka financing based on risk-sharing principles. Yeah, based on risk-sharing principles. And the Waqaf economy can effectively make Muslims independent from the riba-based economy, because this business is funding, especially working capital financing for businesses using risk-sharing principles. Okay. What are the benefits of this BankWaqf or Waqaf economy? It creates jobs. It creates jobs. It is not that we go for it creates jobs. Yeah. So it doesn't go for investment in mutual funds or stock market and things like that. No, we only invest in projects that can create employment. Okay, real economy, and it keeps individuals and the whole system debt free. And that means because of the risk sharing principles, and it creates a move towards a riba free economy. Yeah, and also from the first structure I was mentioning to you, as the bank grows, we are actually targeting education and health for all, like it used to be in the Waqaf during the Ottoman Caliphates and so on. When I was looking at when I was in the university, one of my Arab students, he brought me a source that mentioned during the time, if you are a teacher and you teach just 10 students, fake Muamalat or fake, Shafi, Hanafi, 10 students if you teach, you will be paid about 20,000 ringgit, which is about 5,000 US dollars per month as your salary, just to teach 10 students. Today, for religious teachers, they pay them pittance, Now, when you look back, how were they able to pay like 5,000 USD to teach 10 students? Beyond that, they were given accommodation, they were given horse, which was the transportation of the day, and all this was also given to them. So when you see how it's all financed through Waqaf, you see, so Waqaf is the means to guarantee, this kind of and also as we grow, we go for utilities, even public transportation, provision of, let's say, telecommunications, Wi-Fi, and all this should be the ultimate target, as we grow the Mawquf Alai in a later. We call this as economic network. We try to give the economic network as cheap as possible or free. Okay, these are and this is the target. But right now, as I mentioned to you, we only cover 4 of them, as I mentioned to you. Okay, and it targets the social security for everybody. It targets passive income for everyone, at least the second income. And the final target is we want to create an upper hand gift economy. You see, even now we collect the funds, we manage it, we give to the Mawquf Alai. So we do not go like the traditional Waqaf, waiting for people to give us some funds or create, a lower hand. It has to be an upper hand society. We Muslims are supposed to be an upper hand society. So the Waqaf economy gives you the path to achieve the pristine Islam economics and finance system. Okay. So ultimately, this is what it creates: a compassionate society. That means it's a gift society. In a present system, when you have riba-based or system or fiat money system, it creates competition. That's why we always talk about business competition. Each one is competing with each other because there's lack of funds in the society. But a Waqaf economy creates a gift economy. You just want to give to each other, So therefore, as the Prophet ﷺ said, in the last days, wealth will be abundant. That even if you give a gift, people will say they don't want, isn't it? How do you achieve a system like that? Through Waqaf. Through Waqaf. So maybe I will just skip these things. So finally, the financial role of BankWaqaf like this. First, it also collects the MASJID funds, and it manages Waqaf fund and investment fund, as I mentioned. It manages the beneficiaries of the Mawquf Alai. It manages microfinance. It gives about small financing to small traders, completely interest-free, and also free from fees, any fees, okay? As I mentioned to you, we designed this according to the AlHuda model in Pakistan. And this one manage the reserve fund and also to operate all this Arahnu. For example, you remember in the um, reserve component, there's gold. So when people have, let's say you have gold and you need cash, so you can come to us. The bank will take the gold and give you cash and hold the gold. So they'll become part of the gold holding for the so we can run a Rahnu business. We will have gold and gold vault, and we will also do a payment system and issue sukuk, Waqaf, and Waqaf Takaful, Islamic real estate investment trust, and so on. These are actually, to be frank with you, later this thing, but currently we are actually focusing the first two. Okay. Actually, I already have this payment system done ready, but we have not launched it. Okay. So to give you a brief, how, for example, for Waqaf for hospital, how does the Waqaf for hospital work? Like today, in the today's system, if you are sick, if you go to hospital, and then when the bill is given to you, you are billed for the doctor, you are billed for the medicine, you are billed for the nurses that took care of you, you are billed for the hospital bed that you stay, and you are billed for even the hospital managing the cost of building. Everything is there. You are actually paying everything, right? But here, what we do is BankWaqf, but the hospital has capital expenditure and operating expenditure. So the capital is, for example, they have equipments, scanning machines, and they have the hospital building itself. All this we can actually finance using the Waqaf fund, equipment, buildings. So the patient, when goes to the hospital, only takes care of the OPEX component of the bill. For the doctor, for the bill is very much reduced over there. But hopefully in the future, we can cover everything, including the payment for the doctors and so forth. In fact, in some mechanisms, especially in Indonesia, some of the doctors, they also volunteer their work in a Waqaf hospital. So they contribute their services as Waqaf. You see? So that is the way to reduce. So this is a gold product that we have issued. It's called Kase Gold. It has many denominations from as low as 0.25 grams until even you can buy 1 kilogram of gold. And when we sell to you, there's a profit that is made. So the profit, actually part of it, goes for the Waqaf to Waqaf. And some of those people who purchase the gold, they return back the gold as completely Waqaf to us. So God, some they do that. The third component we give possibility is that anyone who purchased gold, if you keep it at home under the pillow, it becomes an unproductive asset, isn't it? So we give them an opportunity to invest the gold. I'll give you one example and I'll end there the meeting. Okay, if I keep talking, if there's a lot, I will give you there's too much. I will go straight to the model and I will give you an example. You see, when, for example, when we sell the gold to you, this is BankWaqf sells the gold. So we made a profit. Part of the profit is already Waqaf already. So when you purchase the gold item, you're actually contributing indirectly to Waqaf already, number one. Number two, the BankWaqf sometimes receives back the gold given back to the bank as Waqaf itself. That money will be completely put into the Sunduk Waqaf that I mentioned earlier. Then number three, some of them who purchase the gold, they reinvest the gold in it. That means they still want the gold. They want to have the possession of the gold, but they still want to invest. So we take the gold, and then we have arrangement with some banks that have the Ar-Rahnu concept. Yeah, because currently we have not started the Ar-Rahnu concept yet ourselves. So we give the funds with the bank with the Ar-Rahnu concept. They keep the gold and give us 80% of the value of the gold in cash. So the 80% value is received, and then we invest in farming and all. We have just launched something called Waqaf Kurban. Maybe I don't have time to explain that here. It's a very interesting concept. So a profit will be made. we have a fattening cattle fattening program here. So when funds are received, we can we do 3 cycles of fattening within a year. So when the profit is made here, so part of the profit goes back to the investor and partly to the bank Waqaf, to and the money can be used for Mawquf Alay. I'm just putting an example hospital here, but of course we can use it for the other purposes also. Okay. So what is the benefit of doing like this? It beneficiaries, by investing the gold, you actually are helping the beneficiaries of Mawquf Alay. You create projects. You are actually creating jobs. Just take the fattening program. You create farm jobs. You create logistics. When the animal is slaughtered, frozen meat, and then we can have the frozen meat business. Then upstream we have the animal feed industry. People, who do the animal feed, and then we supply to us. So we create economic activities by doing these things. Yeah. Then the benefit to the gold customers, those who purchase the gold. Sorry. Oops. Sorry. Yeah. So those who purchase the gold, first is the customer's gold holding is actually protected. When we invest in it, a part of the profits from here will be used to redeem back the gold and return back to you. Okay, so the gold will be returned back to you, and also you get profit from the investment. Okay, so that is it. And fee for safekeeping of the gold that we pay to the bank here is covered by the bank Waqaf. Zakat is by bank Waqaf, taxes, everything. Okay, so this is the advantage of the customer. Imagine when today's term, when the gold price is the trend is going up. So when you invest, when you receive returns, your gold value has also gone up. You see? So this is the structure that we have designed in BankWaqaf. So basically these are the things. What we do is the success of the BankWaqaf system is we have a transparency and governance. We are using IT. We are also looking into blockchain technology. Then it strengthens the investors and entrepreneurs. We are going to mobile-based investment and dashboard reporting. And we are also looking to the goal-based netting system, where especially, we are going to link all these businesses using a payment system and also goal-backed. This system we already have already. We have not launched yet. And this one, all these businesses, their accounts are monitored, real time by accounting and finance professionals, in order to make sure that there's no hanky-panky things, and it's properly managed, and then you can advise them if there's something goes wrong and so forth. So this is the strategy of banks. So you can see the whole structure is designed to empower the socio-economic empowerment of the society. Okay, and it is alhamdulillah, it's not just theory that I'm giving, it is actually running. We are actually now even opening our farm, the cattle farm in Cambodia, because we noticed that every year when you give the kurban to Cambodia, they're just waiting for you to give them the following year and so on. Now we go and open the farm, give them some jobs, run the business, look into the animal feed and things like that, the logistics and things, to create economic activities there. So I hope if said I've talked too much. So wallahu alam bisawab. Thank you very much for inviting me. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sir, so should we start the question answer session?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Participants, if you have any sort of question, you may raise your hand so that we can unmute your mic. Sir, there is a question by Majidul Salim, and I am unmuting his mic.
Okay.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Sir, can you please kindly elaborate more about the hospital Waqaf, especially on the relationship between Waqaf hospital and the CAPEX, also hospital with the OPEX?
With the CAPEX, okay. Okay, you see, normally when a Waqaf is given, right, when Waqaf money is given, you don't want to just finish it off, isn't it? You want as many people take benefit out of it, correct? So that's why from the component of the beneficiaries component of the Waqaf fund, that means the money that will be used for actually helping the Mawquf Alay, So we use the funds to finance, for example, equipment. Let's say scanning equipment, or for the like ultrascan, ultrascan, building, construction of the building, and things like that. So you finance that so that the equipment can be benefited by many patients. Get it or not? Huh? So, but if you don't have this kind of Waqaf component covering this, if you don't have a Waqaf component covering this, then the patient will have to pay for everything, including the scanning cost, everything, isn't it? So we reduce the cost to the patient by covering the capital expenditure component of the Waqaf. You know, as I mentioned to you, currently we are focusing on mother and child hospital by Dr. Zakrul. He's a pediatrician. He's doing it. So the profit from the Kase gold just now will go for that. But if you see in another model in Malaysia, it's called Clinic An-Nur. Clinic An-Nur is run by Johor Corporation. Johor is a state in southern part of the peninsula Malaysia. So Johor Corporation contributes, it is like social responsibility money, corporate social responsibility funds are injected. They give shares, their shares, and initially entirely run with the Johor Corporation's money. So anybody can go, rich people, poor people, if you are any, you can go to the clinic and you pay a minimal fixed amount of just 5 ringgit. Normally nowadays, if you go to an ordinary clinic, you will easily pay about 60 ringgit, 12 times the amount. But if you go to this, you get to see the doctor, you also get the medication, and you just pay 5 ringgit. But currently the clinic also runs where the general public also contribute to the Waqaf. Okay, so you can see if you have a productive Waqaf, the Waqaf itself is generating funds, making the funds to grow. Only the profits from the growing funds are used to finance, then the Waqaf becomes sustainable, So this is what we are targeting. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for explaining the things so well. Participants, if you have any question, you may raise your hand. If there is any other question. You can also ask your questions in the chat box.
Mm-hmm. By the way, for your information, the one who founded this BankWaqf International, I'm actually working with him. His name is Dr. Abu Ubaidah. And he's quite well known to your CEO, Dr. Zubair Mogan. It's quite well known to him.
Yes, sir. Sir Zubair has a great network and great connections. Sir, there's a question by Muhammad Gufran Ashraf.
Okay.
Unmuting his mic.
Okay. Yes, brother.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Yeah, walaikum salam.
Sir, I have a question regarding equity markets. Sir, how to segregate items or different companies in Islamic perspective through investment point of view?
Equity markets?
Yes, sir.
I don't get your again. Can you repeat the question again? Investing
sir,
in market.
Yes, sir. I have a question regarding equity markets. Sir, how to segregate items or different stocks like different companies, PSO, like Toyota, how to segregate in Islamic perspectives, how to
identify. Okay, let me this thing. Actually, your question is out of our any, but just to give you a brief firstly, in our economic model, the BankWaqf, the Waqaf is an investment. This thing, of course, we don't invest in stock markets, okay? Because currently we find stock markets are quite, speculative. So we don't go into it. But of course, stock market is okay because it's equity market, isn't it? Huh? But we have, Sharia boards in our Malaysian, they go and look into the structure, the financial structure of the entities, and then they will classify whether they fulfill the criteria to be considered as a Sharia compliant equity or non-Sharia compliant, So there's a long criteria, okay? So that's how we will identify, and they will tell according to their criteria which are the businesses equities that are traded in the stock market, Sharia compliant, which are not. So our fund managers, like mutual fund managers and so forth, if they want to create an Islamic fund, they look into it. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir. There is some questions on the Facebook, and let me repeat them for you. That how Waqf element can bring a solution directly for Waqf land or buildings for hospitals and clinics or pharmacies, and Waqf health equipments. So what's your opinion on that? And indirectly to health sector and investing fund embedded Waqf embedded projects, the revenues to sponsors, treatments and medicines in nursing services.
Yes.
And Waqf insurance and shares also. So kindly
correct. So,
about that.
Okay, thank you. So you're all interested in the Waqaf health. In fact, I just had a discussion with some Indonesian parties on the Waqaf health thing just about an hour before. Actually, this is my second webinar for today. So there, you're right. We can use all these the funds that are generated from the Waqaf funds can be used for the capex, for whether it's pharmacy, whether it's a hospital, or whether it's a dialysis center. You can use it for the capital expenditure of this. But as if the fund grows and if you have a large enough funds, then even the cost of the medicines and things like that can be reduced. For example, if you go into the production of medicine itself, then by financing the factories and things like that produce the medicine, then you can also bring down the cost of the people. So that's how ultimately we target. But the current thing that we are doing is basically we are just doing for the hospital. Yeah, we have not gone into even production of medicines and so forth. But for one state, we are looking into, in fact, about 2 states, they're asking us to do the Waqaf hospital and also for pharmacy. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, there is another question on Facebook that what is the future of Waqf in Islamic countries? So kindly guide the participants about that also.
Okay, thank you. As I mentioned to you, I've been working on, monetary systems, economics systems for, I was a professor in university for 30 years before I joined this, I was the Dean for the Institute for Islamic Banking and Finance of the International Islamic University Malaysia before I took my optional retirement. When I was working into all this, when I see the impact, how much impact Islamic finance has done so far, we have grown a lot. But now we have grown, but the path now is actually to achieve the true Islamic economics and finance system. Did the Islamic banking finance really empower individuals and businesses in Muslim countries? In my opinion, it's actually slightly, there's a question mark there. Okay, a lot of people, a lot of studies have shown not to what we would expect. Right, so there are reasons for that. So the Waqaf component, it gives you actually the path. The way I say, that's the reason actually I joined the Waqaf research. To be frank with you, when I was in the university, I was mostly research on the banking, finance, monetary issues only, not on Waqaf. Initially, I thought, Waqaf is more like, sadaqah, it didn't attract me. But when I looked at the model or Dato Baidas, when they established the BankWaqf model in Indonesia and it's running like this, I say this is the path because it creates, the money that is funded it's actually social injection. You make profit, then only you give to the money to the 10% to the bank, and the bank, pools the money, and then it becomes powerful when it's pooled funds, And then you can go for large projects, you can finance working capital financing for businesses, SMEs, and so forth. So it gives you the path to achieve the pristine economic system. And if you notice, a lot of conferences and nowadays webinars is on Waqaf. And that's a very good thing. I'm very happy to see that, because I see this is the path actually. And if you notice, when the Caliphate times, during the Ottoman Caliphate, Waqaf played a very central role. They had everything Waqaf until even until today. If you go to Istanbul, for cats in the stray cats in the even stray dogs also, they have Waqaf for that. They feed them. It's complete system that even the animals and plants will enjoy with the complete system. Is it achievable? It is achievable, and this is the path actually. If you really understand, if you understand how monetary system works, and then you will realize the true economic development actually comes from work, labor. So even in an economic recession, when you find an unemployed person, you see businesses are down. When you ask the person unemployed, do you want to work? Yes, the unemployed person actually wants to work. And businesses, we have needs to be fulfilled. So if there needs to be fulfilled and people are willing to work, then why the economy is not running? What is stopping it? What is stopping it is actually the monetary system, the financial system. There's a lack of liquidity in the system. That's the reason in every recession, government pump in money. In America, they call it quantitative easing. We will pump in money. But unfortunately, many countries who don't understand this, they borrow money from international entities like World Bank, IMF, and then pay interest on it when you need not. All right. So when you realize it is actually the labor, the activity is actually develops the economy. Goods and services are actually produced by the skills of the people. What is lacking is the monetary system to connect all these entities. So this is where the bank Waqaf comes in. And it comes in with social injection of funds, not creating money out of nothing like the conventional banks and Islamic banks. It doesn't create money out of nothing and create inflation. No, it's social injection. And it empowers everybody, and it allows everybody to work. So remember in this thing, how do you make an economic system sustainable and continuously grow is to make sure everybody works. And to do that, on the two things are important. One is on the financial side, you must have enough liquidity. Okay, and this is what BankWaqf contributes, enough liquidity in the economy. On the human side, you have to make sure the person is educated, the person has good health. Everybody, whoever they are, Muslim, non-Muslim, everybody you have to take care. Okay, so this is where the BankWaqf comes. It takes care of the businesses, funding them, and takes care of the individual by providing them with education and health and other human capital development elements. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. There is another question in the chat box that by Mr. Ghaffur Aizai Sheikh Ahmed. How would you raise the fund if you are collecting fund from individuals? So what would be the underlying contract?
Okay, you see the underlying the contract is on a mudaraba and musharaka basis. That means you actually, if you are putting the funds as investment, then you are actually becoming a partner in all the projects we are going to invest. Okay, the contract is a partnership contract. But if you are simply contributing the funds as what do you call that, to the Sunduk Waqaf, that means it's to the Waqaf fund itself. That means you are just contract. We will the funds according to the BankWaqf's business model. This as I mentioned to you earlier. Do I answer the question to you?
Yes, sir. I hope the participants are now satisfied. And if you guys have any other question, you may ask now. If you have any confusion or any doubts or anything you want to ask from sir, you can ask.
Okay.
Sir, I guess there is no more questions, and thank you so much for answering everything so well. And we are literally honored to have you on board. The information you shared today is so wonderful, and I hope it will be helpful for all the participants. I would like to pay heartiest gratitude from by Mr. Zubair Mughal to you that you come here and delivered the speech for on this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sister Bisma, and also to all participants. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, sir. Take care. Participants, you can now leave the meeting. And thank you so much for joining us today for this wonderful session.